Hello, everyone. Today we have a bit of a cats unite moment. We have all cats today, and I've already connected to the conscious self and the higher selves of the creatures who are with us here on Earth, and also got permission from the spirits of the creatures who are not with us here on Earth. So, all the cats have given me permission to connect with their energy, and I am being guided by them to begin introducing you to each and every one of these beautiful furry family members. We'll start with Sirius, the black cat there, and he's still with us on Earth, shares his human in this email. Sirius is very talkative, clever, and affectionate, but very nervous and anxious, especially at night, and likes to sleep on the bed with her. And the partner once had a dream of another life with Sirius, where her partner had to leave his home for good to join a resistance army and let Sirius out into the nearby forest to live out his days, as her partner knew he was a good hunter and could fend for himself. Sirius, in that lifetime, must have felt abandoned. That really resonated with me and could be the root of the anxiety. I'm hearing a yes from Sirius because anything unresolved from past lives does manifest in those ways. So going on, she got a message that they need to have a lot of patience with him. Yes, that is very true. I could hear Sirius laughing in the background. And he comes into her dreams often enough, usually for short periods of time and in a playful, mischievous mood. And when I read that, I could feel that Sirius was or is contracted to help his mom tap into her inner child-like qualities. That's why he's very playful and mischievous. And that explains why they have asked me to take out my inner child healing oracle deck and pull out some cards on their behalf, or they helped me pull out the cards. That's more accurate. And that there are still some things being healed in this lifetime when Sirius did feel abandoned. So there are some abandonment issues that Sirius is healing now, currently, I'm hearing, and making progress. So that's good news, isn't it? The other thing is, and I'm not sure if her partner is open to this, but to really explore any aspects of himself where he may feel abandoned. Because Sirius is saying, I have some things to teach about the wisdom around abandonment and how to rise really high above it and come out from it. I do feel that Sirius is very much tied into both of their soul contracts, really deeply tied. There are many, many other lifetimes I could see around the issues of family, belonging, and then abandonment and separation that has occurred over and over. Interesting. Sirius is saying his role in this lifetime with his humans is to teach them about how humans have become separate from themselves and how has his own humans feel a little bit separate perhaps, or feeling a sense of disconnect either within themselves or with the world. And what is that trying to teach them, asks Sirius. It goes back to the previous reading, right, with the crow Bran and his whole crew, speaking about really connecting with yourself and asking, what is this feeling all about? If there's any feeling of disconnect or don't feel like you belong, Sirius is here to teach you how to really find that definition of belonging or family or community or connection and define it in your own ways. And that's why so many cats have come into your life. Because cats are good at that in some ways, aren't they? They want that connection, so they really purr up to you. And then when they have enough, they swat you away and go, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Stay away." So, do you need that balance too? There are times when you need to really connect and be out there with the community, or times when you need to kind of go back in to your own little shell there or cave just to restore your energy. Yes, some of us can restore our energy by connecting with other people, but I'm getting a feeling that the humans here and the majority of the people here in the community are very similar to myself: high empath, highly sensitive, highly introverted. So we might find more of this energizing element when we are more cocooned in our own home and just reflecting and exploring this inner world of ours. What's the emotions coming up? And doing a deep meditation of where it's rooted. Are these challenges and blocks rooted in ancestral patterns? Something else that's occurred in your own life as a pattern? Or is it past life? Anything else serious you want to say? He's saying no, but he's going to jump in and probably add on to other things that his other furry family members are wanting to say. Moving on, I'm hearing to Merlin, and that's the white and tabby cat there in the picture. And he's with us on Earth. And his mom writes that he's very zen, loves affection, generally easygoing, but not with strangers or other animals. And arrived on their doorstep as a stray. So they chose, Merlin chose them. And it looks up to Sirius as his adopted big brother and learns from him. I'm hearing a big yes from Sirius. And only comes into her dream state when he's beside Sirius. Ah, fascinating. And I can tell that their humans are quite observative and very connected to spirit in order to see these correlations here. Merlin is definitely working with Sirius at the energetic realm in order to come visit their mom in the dream state and work with her. A lot of these creatures want to work with their humans when they're in a meditative state or in a dream state. And I believe later on she mentions about another cat who her partner has met in a past life regression. So these cats are definitely here to work with them, not at the conscious level all the time, but they want to take it deeper and work with them at the theta state, right? At that meditative state when you're meditating or in a past life regression, or right before you're about to fall asleep. I'm hearing that's when it's easier for them to connect with your energy and communicate what they want to communicate with you. I hope that the humans are keeping a dream log, because I'm hearing some of the other cats chime in and say when you log or journal about those dreams, you're going to start to see a pattern. And then when you journal about those dreams, also on the side, put in bullet points, anything that was significantly happening at the time, maybe any shifts, maybe you were learning something new, taking a class, maybe a major family event happened, or maybe some sort of a triggering moment occurred around the time the dreams came up. And over time, as you journal that, you're going to connect the dots and see other ways that they're working with you. And that includes the cats that are with you in spirit and those that are on the other side. Let's see, what else does Merlin want to say? Magical cat with a magical name, Merlin. I'm being told to keep going. So Momo is the light gray one in the picture there. She is with spirit and she's very sweet and timid. I can see that. And she says, we had her for a short time, but my partner feels guilt over how she passed away. She had a lot of trauma from her previous home, And one time she got outside and just ran away from us when we tried to get her back inside. When I read this the first time round, I saw Momo struggling with the definition of home and belonging. So there's those words again, isn't there? It's definitely a deeply rooted past life that Momo had that again carried over into this life. Her definition of home being that it is unsafe and dangerous and always constantly needs to be on the move. There's this hypervigilance, and I could feel that her experience from previous owners had really jacked up her nervous system. Like I could really feel it on an overdrive. And as I'm saying that, I could see angels in the spirit side of the world placing their hands on Momo and soothing away and releasing the layers of that trauma from her. So as I'm channeling these messages, I often see in the spirit world sort of healing work that's happening to the creatures that are also here on earth, but also on the other side. So I'll let the angels continue doing their work on her, but Momo just wanted to explain why she was so timid, and she doesn't want her current humans to feel like it was their fault. And Momo said she has learned quite a bit from her humans about what a home truly is. So there is some healing that has occurred with her as she lived with them. Nigel is the tabby that's sitting at the window there, and Nigel is with Spirit. And she writes, he's my partner's soul cat, and even came to retrieve him from another lifetime when my partner was undergoing a past life regression session. Nigel is described here as arrogant, high-strung, nervous at times, would yowl at night, and is a very dominant male cat. Affectionate, but didn't know how to play. And sometimes they feel that Nigel is teaching Sirius certain habits. Even though it says Nigel is in spirit, they do come visit and poke at the present furry family members. So I can feel Nigel doing that from the other side. Because Nigel, and I feel Sirius, has very similar qualities. Yes, nervous is repeated in both of them. So when Nigel is close by, his spirit, Sirius picks it up, and his nervousness or his jumpiness might become a little bit more frequent or a little more intense. And it's just Nigel just stopping in and just checking up on his past furry family members. Let's see what else Nigel wants to say. There's some things here that Nigel does want to close with this human's partner. Okay, they're saying they're going to speak about it in the inner child cards that Nigel got me to take out. So we will get into that in a bit. Tarky, the last cat there, the tabby on the bed, Tarky is also with spirit, and she says I channeled Reiki to him once, and I do remember that. And she says he's my soul cat, even though he was with us for a relatively short time. He was so energetically sensitive, we performed healing on each other a lot, and he visited me a few times after he crossed over. In the last visit, he showed himself as a female calico, but the energy was so different. Yes, that's because Tarky has done quite a bit of inner work on the other side. I do feel his frequency definitely elevated quite a bit. Very different from when he was here on Earth with you. And the reason why he wanted to elevate his spiritual frequency is he has plans to come back as a female calico cat. And I have a feeling that when this calico cat comes into your life, a lot of abundance and blessings are going to bloom. So this is pretty exciting. Whenever that happens, I would like to allow Tarky to orchestrate that within divine timing and within the flow of your soul contract and how you're closing your life lessons there. The messages here, the cards that all the cats have pulled out, apply to mostly their mom, but also to their dad. They want me to get into it right now. 4 cards had to come out in regards to the energy that is coming forward. And like the other creatures, they've asked me to just read them out. The answers you need are coming. Your dreams need a practical plan. A new romantic cycle begins, and a win-win outcome is forecast. These are all very exciting. Let's start with the answers you need are coming. If you have been doubting or unsure of what steps to take next, either in your life or any other aspects related to the marriage, your relationship with your partner, know that the answers are coming. In the meantime, says the cats, all of them, especially Tarky coming in here, your dreams need a practical plan. And I feel that this message has been quite dominant in the other messages from the pets, where you need to take stock of where you're at now, what you need to do, prepare and plan. So that's the practical part. And then make your way towards it. But first, have something in plan. Write it down, says Tarky. And then that way you could go back and reflect on it and ask yourself, do I need to change anything? And I feel Merlin's higher self is coming in here. Yes, I had to look at the piece of paper and connect with the name there. Merlin is coming in and agreeing, saying yes. However, when you create the plan, don't make it too detailed, or else the human mind becomes so attached for things to happen in a specific way, and therefore we force things to happen. Just have things loosely planned and trust that the universe will fill out the details in between. And be open from signs from spirit. So there are cards out here for you that do speak to the signs that you need to look out for. But know that the answers are coming, but create that plan right now, taking stock of where you are, where you need to go, and what needs to happen in between. Throughout that time, and they're saying make sure in the plan there's something there about the partnership, right? How do you want the relationship between you and your partner to bloom? Are there any new adventures you want to explore together? And that's what a new romantic cycle refers to. There's this new phase that's going to start in your relationship. It's going to deepen your connection with each other, and it's very much deeply rooted in healing. I do feel that your partner is going to go off and do their own healing, and you're going to do your own healing. The healing feels very separate, and there are times when you both come together, just share things, and then that sharing will create another burst of healing or inspiration to, again, go on to your own separate healing journeys, and then reconvene again to share what you learned. It's that wonderful, respectful journey of we all have our inner journeys, and then sometimes we come together and just share what we feel like sharing, and then it repeats itself. And within that moment of coming together and just sharing your experiences, it seems like there's some insights about the other person and about yourself and what else also needs to be healed within you, but within the energy, the frequency, they're saying, of the relationship. I feel that the cats that are with you and currently are going to show you a lot about that. They're asking me to go back and look at or tune into Sirius's name and Merlin's name here. Very Zen. So Merlin is very Zen, loves affection. So Merlin wants to bring in more of that teaching and energy into your relationship. And Merlin is saying, just watch me. Because my humans are so observative. So they just need to watch me and then they will learn. Okay. And know that a win-win outcome is forecast. That's the last card that had come out. That is a good sign, isn't it? But make sure you have that plan. Go deep as you feel like, and go deep as it feels safe to do so in your own healing journey. And just allow this new romantic cycle or this new spiritual cycle to really bloom and unfold on its own time. I keep hearing, who is this? I'm hearing it, Sirius's higher self, Momo Nigel, saying, in regards to the card, a win-win outcome is forecasted. Don't be so stuck on the results or trying to dream up of what the results needs to be or could be, because they're saying it's actually a lot better than you think. So just allow it to happen, they say. Going in now to the virtues and the frequencies that you are elevating into, and how those are in the contracts between you and the creatures who are with you, but also in spirit. And who is this? Momo? Is it Momo? Yes, she's saying, just read these out, please. The warrior, the father, and the flirt. Let's start with a warrior. I feel like it goes back to Sirius's past life with the partner. And I'm just going to read it out here again. My partner once had a dream of another life with Sirius, where my partner had to leave his home for good to join a resistance army and let Sirius out in the nearby forest to live out his days, as my partner knew he was a good hunter and could fend for himself. Interesting, because resistance army really stands out. They're asking, or Sirius is saying, that his dad is learning about being a different kind of a warrior. It's not about fighting on a side based on what the human minds decide that needs to be fought, but it's more of what kind of a warrior could his dad be for himself, for the partner, for the whole family, even a really healthy definition of a warrior for the creatures that are under his care. It's a different kind of it's a more gentle flow of a warrior, and it's a very protective energy. When the warrior energy comes forward like this, it also speaks about reassessing your definition of protector and provider, and really looking into that. Is that correct? And is my belief about being a protector or provider, is that based on what the culture says or what the collective conscious says is the right thing? Or is it taught by my family? Or what's really my belief about that? And there's those virtues of warrior, protector, provider that Sirius is here to teach him. Going back to Sirius's energy, what else would you like to say? And that was Sirius's higher self. No, he said he's spoken what he needed to say about the card. Momo, do you have anything to say? Because I feel like Momo picked out these cards. She's happy with what was spoken about in regards to the warrior card. But the warrior card says Momo is related to the father card also. And again, it refers to the partner, right? With that divine masculine energy of, okay, what's the protector, provider? What's the healthy definition of a divine masculine? And there's a lot of that that's going to come through the relationship. And that's part of that new romantic cycle that's going to come through. There's almost a breakdown of the traditional thinking or the collective consciousness thinking of that divine masculine that's going to happen within the relationship. And that's actually a good thing, because it's been too constricting so far to this point. And all the cats are coming together and helping to support those walls in crumbling down in the most gentle but the best ways possible. The Father card is also referring to, says Momo, about any trauma from the paternal line. And are there still any trauma that needs to be resolved or blocks around the whole energy of the father or even authority figures? Because there's something there that happened in the past life within the mom. And I feel like Sirius may have been part of it, where there was a very dominant and very power hungry and very grumpy, says Sirius, male figure that was in the mom's past life, and the soul still remembers it, and the soul is desiring, very much hungry for what is a healthy male leader. What does that look like, and how can I redefine it so I feel safe in tapping into that energy too within myself? Because we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energies, right? And it very much feels that it's connected to some sort of a spiritual path. And that's all that Momo wants to say. Defining that healthy divine masculine leadership is somehow associated to a spiritual path. Momo is suggesting here that her mom does some meditation around it, because then she is saying that it would be an absolute honor for her to take her mom on a journey there and really look at the past life, the belief systems that came from it, and perhaps doing some healing work in that meditation to let go of things that are holding her back. Would you like to do that? Asks Momo to her mom. Momo feels like she's wanting to be more of a help, because she does feel like she left this earth a little too soon. And let me just, yeah, her mom did say they had a very short time with her. So Momo now wants to really help from the other side. However, you may want to explore that with Momo in meditation. I like to leave it up to Momo and also your spirit guide. Get your spirit guide to help also, because they're way more equipped and they have more training and skills to facilitate a very deep healing. And the pets are wonderful. They come in and give us this comfort and sense of ease so that we can really surrender to the healing journey. That's why I like it when pets come in and join private sessions or circles. They really provide a beautiful healing energy. The flirt, again, it goes back to a new romantic cycle beginning and how there's a connection that's deepening between you and your partner. The flirt and a new romantic cycle begins often refers to this one major thing, and that is becoming more and more in love with life, because you're starting to feel more connected to the universal flow and how you can co-create your life with the universe. And there's a sense of magic and joy that comes with it. That's why it feels like this new romantic cycle. It feels like you're in love with life because you feel so connected to it. And with the flirt card, it also refers to flirting with life. This is a very common message from this card. How would you like to flirt with life in a fun way? So one of the things that Spirit loves suggesting is inviting life to create some sort of a situation where it invites you to have an adventure, to explore something new, or explore something a lot deeper of something that you are already familiar with. And by exploring it deeper, you're going to feel this really, really intense cosmic connection to the universe. Let's see, Momo, do you have anything else you want to say? No, okay. And she is asking me to go on to the next pile of cards, and these are the inner child cards. These are the things that both of her parents need to look into and heal. And these are very much rooted in past life and ancestral trauma. Starting first, okay, they're asking me to read this. Interesting. They all are related. Trust, flow and intuition. We want to start with the trust card. Who is this coming through? Tarky and Nigel, thank you. Trust. The light aspects of trust is faith, support, and believing in yourself. The shadow aspect that is blocking it, and I just got a really intense ringing in my ear. So that's Spirit's way of saying a hard yes, that there's some blocks here within your Akashic record in regards to trust. What are those blocks? Distrust and trusting blindly. There's something there in the ancestral lineage where trusting blindly was the safe way to live life, because it was hard to face the truth, or if they wanted to stand up to the truth, then their lives could have been at risk. There's this fear of, we need to stay low, we need to just fly under the radar or just get by. There's this feeling of wanting to survive, and it's very, very strong in the DNA. So where do you feel that you have trouble surrendering to life? And that's why the cards, the flirt and a new romantic cycle, popped out to remind you to have fun with life, just to flirt with it, right? So where do you feel you're not fully trusting the flow of life? There's some past life trauma here within the human, where they wanted to do something and they really put themselves out, but it didn't work out the way that they had hoped, and they just dropped it. And in this life, they want to pick up where they left off, because they want to explore. The past life souls really want to explore in this life, through this human, the possibilities of what they could have bloomed into. So look into more of that in a much deeper level. Where are you not trusting? Because that's very fear-based. Distrust is very, very fear-based. I don't feel safe. That's what I'm hearing from your past lives. They didn't feel safe, and therefore they just decided not to continue. And they highly regret that. I could feel it. The message on the trust card is, you are loved and supported. It's safe for you to trust. Do you have any trust issues? Any other ones? Asks Momo. When you trust and you're able to surrender to life or to the flow of the universe, it will take us to the next card now. The message is here about flow. And there's a fish here. If you see a fish, that's a sign from the spirit world saying, where are you not flowing? Because you're resisting and you're not trusting, and that is blocking abundance from coming in. The light aspects of flow is ease, surrender, and divine guidance. So divine guidance and spirit signs have been coming to you, and they want you to just take note just a little bit more, because now that you've listened to this reading, your soul is a bit more aware, more attuned, and ready and aware of any subtle signs and big signs, and even synchronicities coming your way. So where are you blocked in ease, surrender, and divine guidance? The shadow aspects is lack of direction and perfectionism. And I feel this is very much tied to the ancestral realm. And this is a big abundance block that I see in a lot of people's DNA, where they feel like they must have everything in plan, and they must follow through it, and everything needs to be perfect, and the plan must be perfect, and then everything will be perfect. Again, it's that fear, right? Like, what if some things fall apart? If any of you are resonating with this message, go back and do some of the abundance and manifestation healing meditations there. I paused because I could see there's quite a bit of blocks that could be released if you listened to it. And most people listen to it when they're about to fall asleep, or they're in bed and they have plans to fall asleep. They just have that meditation running in the background at a very, very low volume. And I've programmed all the meditations, so as you listen to it, it's as if you are doing it with me in person and I'm witnessing the healing for you. So know that the healing is happening as you listen to it, even on low volume. So look into where a lack of direction made you feel perhaps abandoned and less trusting of how life will flow for you. And did perfectionism come in a way to protect yourself? So perfectionism, look into your relationship with that. I think it's okay to have some level of perfectionism, but sometimes we just need to back off. So where can you be more forgiving to yourself? The message here is follow your path of least resistance, surrender and allow. So there's that word again, surrender. When you trust and flow with the universe, your intuition is going to bloom and expand. So that's the next card that your inner child is healing. The light aspect is inner wisdom, psychic gifts, and dreams. So you already are dreaming a lot. Wonderful. More dreams may come through as you work through any other blocks within you. The shadow aspect is self-doubt, confusion, and mind chatter. Mind chatter often refers to the fears that are within our minds, right? Our subconscious really likes to hang on to fears because it mistakenly thinks you need it. But of course, there's some fears that you need, and I won't call it fear, but it's more like self-protection belief systems. For example, look both ways before you cross the street. That's a good belief to have. But there are some that are just not working for you. It's limiting you. And what are those limiting beliefs? Look at where you're feeling frustrated, stagnant. Where are you procrastinating even? And ask yourself, why am I allowing this energy? Where is it coming from? And try to find the root of it, either through meditation or just asking yourself all these inquiries, right? What am I feeling? Where in the body? What is it trying to tell me? And what are the beliefs? Based on what these energies are telling me, is it ancestral? Is it past life trauma? And am I ready to release it? So self-doubt. So there is some self-doubt from a past life that is still there and needs to be healed in the humans, and that comes from really taking the chance, taking the leap and doing something and having that not work out. And it's almost like, oh, okay, see, I guess I am a failure. So that's a very big belief system, negative belief system that's deeply embedded within the ancestral line in the past life. And you could start tackling that again by what Momo is saying here, repeating, by just identifying those fears, right? Just list those fears and go, where did I get that fear from? And what do I want to do to overcome it? How do I want to challenge myself to overcome that fear? This card asks you, what do you feel deep inside? Your intuition is accurate. And I could already see that the mom's intuition is really accurate because she can read into her dreams and also into what her creatures are wanting to tell her. So they are encouraging her to continue communicating with them. And that includes the cats that are here on earth and those in spirit. Okay, who's coming through? Nigel and Merlin. Okay. I'm going to go into the coffee cards here. And these coffee cards speak about the signs from the spirit that you need to look out for. Let's start with the eye, envy and protection. There are other creatures out there that very much envy how you treat your cats. You might need to protect yourself also during this time because the world is still shifting. The energy is still a little bit weird and strange. So do what you need to do to protect your energy. Either carry certain gemstones that make you feel protected and that cleanses your energy field. Or it might be just you spending some time at home, right? Just cocooning yourself in your home and just regenerating your spiritual batteries that way. That's also protecting yourself. Envy is asking your DNA. So, really going into this meditative state and connecting with your ancestors and asking them, what is it that you envied in others? Because envy and jealousy are big, 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 in fact, really huge abundance blocks. And when those unresolved envy or jealousies are lingering in our ancestors and it gets handed down to us descendants, a form of that jealousy or envy or desire could start within us. So, what are those? And it might start with asking ourselves, how do we envy other people? What aspects of their life do we desire? Because it means we want a part of it, or we want it all. And look into that and see what Momo perhaps might want to come in, or who else was it? Nigel also wants to come in and help you release that block from your ancestral realm, which will then bring in a lot of blessings and abundance. So if you see an eye, or let's say you walk by an optometrist, they deal with eyes, don't they? Even something like that that references an eye is a reminder from the spirit world. Check in with a thought that you recently had. Is it related to envy or jealousy or some kind of a abundance block? And do you want to go deeper and work with it? Because I do feel the universe does want to work with all of us to release these blocks. The next sign from spirit, if you see a triangle, choices and indecision. If you see that geometric shape, look at where you may be procrastinating. There's that word again, right? Procrastinating, feeling stagnant, where you might be feeling a little indecisive because you're just not sure, right? And then tune in and go, why am I not sure? Why am I hesitating? Because hesitation is actually a little bit of fear there. We all have this. Look into that, right? And then go, what's the choice that I need to make? What feels good to me? And even visualize, if I chose A, what would the results be like? And would I be at peace with it? And do the same thing with choice B or C or D and go, what could possibly be the result? And would I be at peace with that? And which one would be for my best and highest good? Coins. So this refers to the abundance blocks when they are released. So any abundance blocks around envy and jealousy, when they are addressed, acknowledged, and healed and released, you will see coins. And that means that there's a lot of luck and money coming your way. How exciting. And what a great way to end this reading on that sign. Let me look at that. These coins remind me of the Canadian loonie, which is a gold coin. And if you happen to receive it, let's say while you are grocery shopping, or maybe you're walking by a chocolate shop and they have a bag of those chocolate gold coins wrapped in the golden foil, that's a sign there from the universe saying there's luck and money coming. Are you open to it? Because it's meant for you. And sometimes when we receive something, there's a part of us occasionally that wants to reject it because we don't feel we're good enough for it. But know that it's arriving in front of you because you are deserving of it and you worked really hard for it. Let's see, anything else you kiddies want to say? Now, as I'm going through the names here, Sirius, Merlin, Momo, Nigel, and Tarky, all I hear is, nope, I'm done. I'm done too. Me too. And I just saw the cats and spirits just turn around and walk away. Very cat-like, right? I'm done with you. Well, thank you so much to all these beautiful cats. Thank you for the messages. And how wonderful that a lot of blessings, luck, and money and opportunities are coming your way. And I send the same energy back to all of you here in the community. Enjoy your day, everyone.